Power Rangers needs to stop doing these things. I got together some amazing Tokutubers to talk about Power Rangers, what we hate about it, what we love about it, and these are their replies. So don't shoot the messenger, just listen to their words. Anyway, enjoy this video. Kezza, Henshin.
Hello, Stickosaurus here.
What's going on, guys? I am Kaiju Carl, and I am happy to be a part of this.
So we're talking about things that we don't like about Power Rangers.
The main thing Power Rangers need to change.
So here are some things I want PR to stop doing.
Things that I want Power Rangers to get rid of.
Okay, Power Rangers should stop doing.
What do I not want to see? What makes me angry and soothing?
Now I've been thinking about it a little bit, and things that Power Rangers should stop doing.
It's no secret that I have fallen off of Power Rangers over the last couple years.
Let's go there.
Number one, leave MMPR alone.
Stop bringing back Go Power Rangers. I get it. You want to capitalize on nostalgia. It's the Power Rangers brand, and oh boy, I go Power Rangers. Oh, it's the thing that you like the most. My favorite theme songs are from the Disney era. SPD Emergency, Power Rangers Roar, Dino Rangers Score, right? That's the shit I love. I don't want any of these remixes, because these remixes are never gonna be as good as the original.
We do not need any more MMPR music or themes going on in this new reboot. Please just
leave it in the past.
I feel like Jonathan Entwistle crawls out of his cave every couple of years and he's like, it will have Tommy, and then he crawls back into his cave and we never hear from him for like another year or two. I feel like it doesn't need to focus on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because I know it's the reboot universe, I know respect the originals, they put a name out there, but I feel like they don't need to lean too heavily on that Zyuranger, Mighty Morphin stuff all the time. And I feel like if they do something new and original, like create new Rangers or something entirely different, I'd be down the vibe with that. I mean, I don't want to see like too much nostalgia bait for this upcoming reboot.
Don't pander to one like audience with nostalgia, because no offense, Hasbro, 99% of Lightning collecting figures are only focused on one team, on one show in three seasons, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's a big issue.
My main takeaway from the Hasbro era, and even a bit of the Neo Saban era, is that whoever owns the IP for Power Rangers, whoever owns the rights to distribute it, to make the toys, anybody, Hasbro, Saban, Bandai, they need to know their American audience. This is gonna be the easiest comparison. I like the Power Rangers toys. I like their presentation. I like that these are cheap. MSRP, this was like 10 bucks. I got it for $2. This is cool. But what kid would really want to buy the Power Rangers toy over Link from The Legend of Zelda, over a Mario figure, over, I don't know, even like a wrestling figure? It's really hard to tell who the main audience is for the toys, and that's been a big issue, because while there are adult collectors, you see Hasbro trying to get all, like, pretty much throw the Power Rangers IP wherever it can and hoping that sells, like Power Rangers with My Little Pony, Power Rangers with TMNT. It's really random, and I'm sure they sell enough, but it's also only Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Who are these toys meant for? Like 5-year-old Timmy who watches My Little Pony and Power Rangers, or 20-year-old adult Marco Satsu who only likes a certain amount of Power Rangers and doesn't want to buy the turtle toy or the boxers or the plates or the birthday combinations, or I don't know. I like this, but I'm only a very, very, very small portion of adult buyers who like this. Kids are the ones who want this, but kids also want something else. I know there are kids who like this. I know. That's why they're being sold. But it's also why I got this for $2 at a secondhand retail store, because they just weren't selling. If there's anything that Power Rangers should do when it comes back, is understand what it's trying to do and stick with it.
Stop changing the animal Zord names. Like, come on now. Like, you think I freaking knew what a mastodon was? Like, I still don't know what a mastodon is. Like, is mammoth a type of mastodon, or mammoth type of, or mastodon a type of mammoth? Like, I don't know, but like kids are capable of learning, so like you don't need to change the swordfish into a shark or a rhino beetle into a praying mantis. Like, kids are smart. We'll figure it out.
Megazords, do we gotta go into a Megazord battle every episode? Like, the monster grows, right? Does it gotta grow though? If the villains know that, hey, the Rangers got a Megazord, maybe they got multiple that they can destroy the monster with pretty easily. I don't see the point of it. Also, the exploding buildings. What is the city doing? Are they cleaning that up? Is it coming up the next day? There's gotta be some leftover damage from all those Megazord battles.
A certain pet peeve that I would love the reset to leave behind would definitely be the way the show is shot. I think over the years, they've updated the quality, clearly. Cameras have gotten better. The destinations that we're filming at are nice, don't get me wrong. But I believe the style in itself has to change. The way we're watching these shows feels so boring. It feels like I'm staring at the same sets, staring at the same style. It feels all by the same person. I would love if Power Rangers had its own identity. It could stand next to, for the lack of other examples, the MCU. The show is in desperate need of a uplift. I want a show that is clearly Power Rangers, but that looks different. It looks mature, right? It looks like a show that I can show anybody. A series that you would want to tell maybe your parents about or some friends and not feel like, oh, we're watching a kid's show. Once and Always felt like a kid's show. I felt like I was watching a Power Rangers episode. I don't want that. If we're rebooting, if we're resetting, if we're starting from the beginning, I would love if visually it could look different. I think visually Power Rangers needs a change. But as somebody that is currently shooting fan morphs, fan henshins, I often try to experiment with how I'm shooting stuff because it's repetitive. So keeping it fresh is something that I always have in mind, and I want Power Rangers to do that too.
I would like them to stop trying to make it like a forced into every series has to be part of some sort of continuity. Like the way Sentai does it, I think is nice. They're only in the same universe when they need to be, and that's it. Like, we don't have to have this whole overarching thing. It's not the MCU. Just let each season stand on its own. And if you want to have a crossover or something, that's fine. That's all we need. You don't need a whole nother Green Morphomaster situation again. Like that's silly. Just let them be on their own, tell the stories in their universe, and if you want to have them fight each other and team up, that's cool, that's fine. But that's it. Just call it. You know, we don't need all that.
The big thing I want Hasbro to stop doing in their reboot of Power Rangers is stop with these generic sound bites. I know this sounds very odd, but let me explain. And I'm not talking about like when a form debuts and they've got like the same burst sound, which is also annoying, but I'm talking about the toys, because they make the toys so boring in the show. And also as toys, but mainly it's because in the show, they don't feel like toys. Like, they will activate a dino key and put it in a sword, and it's just gonna make a generic sound. There's no like special activation. And not even comparing it to the Sentai counterparts, if we go back to Power Ranger seasons just a few years before, we get Dino Charge. They put a Dino Charger in a thing and it goes Dino Charger engage, and it says a specific name, and that's awesome. It makes them feel like toys because the toys make similar sounds. So this is also kind of a thing I want them to do, but I want them to stop making generic sounds in order to make the toys in the show feel like toys. Give them unique sounds in the guns and the swords. Make the morphs, like, give them an actual morph sound so you can put it in the morpher. Stop using like generic sounds and completely rely on like the background music.
So I'm gonna say the dull spandex. Like, I'm sorry, the suits, you know, look great. Cosmic Fury suits were okay. I was fine with it. But like, the spandex store you go to, like Spandex R Us, like, they don't have the shiny spandex. Like, you need to like import the good spandex. Japan has the good spandex, and like cosplayers and cosplay costume makers are able to get the shiny spandex. Like, how about you get the shiny spandex? And I don't mean to speak ill of the New Zealand spandex industry, as thriving as I'm sure it is. Like, you just like get the shiny stuff. Just give that a shot.
The main thing that has to change is just the characters in general, because some of them just need to make sure they have a lot of focus. Not even a lot of focus, just make sure that everybody has equal focus. Because I just think about different seasons, like for example, Dino Fury, whenever you have to have somebody like Javi just there just to be there. But I'm kind of glad that Cosmic Fury changed that a little bit more, but come on now. They could have did something more with him. So I just want to make sure that every single one of those characters has a lot of focus. It makes the show better. It just makes sure that the show's like is equal to everybody. Just make sure that the cast is well liked and well rounded. And that's mainly the main thing I really want them to change, because I'm just getting sick and tired of it.
I would say have the Power Rangers not act differently when it's their focus episode. A lot of times they would have a personality trait that would go throughout the whole season, but when it's time for their focus episode, they're gonna act completely different. They're gonna act rude, mean, and just straight up out of character for the sake of, it's time to teach this character a lesson. Let's stop that. Let's have them grow throughout the season instead of learning something from a lesson in an episode that they're just gonna forget by the next one.
For me, I think the big thing I want them to stop doing in this reboot that's supposedly coming is not allowing the creative individuals to be creative. We've seen clips from behind the scenes of actors talking about how they were not allowed to act and other people interfered when it came to creative decisions in other scenarios. You gotta just let go of that death grip on the control and let the creative people be creative. Filmmaking is a team effort. It's a collaboration, and you can't be a tyrant when you're trying to collaborate with people. It doesn't work. It always ends in shit. I don't know if I can do that. It always ends in crap, and I think that honestly leads to that kind of cringy, campy thing. When you force people to do lines in a specific way, it just comes off as unnatural and weird. Give them a little freedom to just act.
I want them to stop only using aliens as villains. It's been a really big thing for the past 10 years or so, excluding like beast morphers, I guess. There used to be so much variation between like demons or mutants or like mythical creatures. There's just so much that they could do that they haven't done in a while. Give us evil rangers or like anti-hero rangers.
I could soak up a evil turn good arc any day of the week.
The show's been so afraid of doing this for a while, when literally one of the most famous rangers of all time kind of falls into this archetype. Sixth Rangers nowadays are like immediately acclimated to the team, like they were always there. I want like a rogue Vegeta type Sixth Ranger again, a la like Magna Defender or Quantum Ranger, like a ranger that is not necessarily evil, but like isn't a part of the team whatsoever.
Astronema in Space and Lost Galaxy, Korag and Mystic Force, and hey, even Ollie and Cosmic Fury. All of those arcs, juicy.
I feel like that'd be cool again.
The outfits. When you look for the Power Rangers outfits from the 90s to now, not much has changed. The Ranger closet is still small. They don't got a lot of options. How about we let them wear some different colors once in a while, okay? Let's mix it up a little bit. At least have their significant color in there just so it pops up, but let's do something, please. All right, the drip is, we gotta make it ludicrous.
I want Rangers to stop being so polite. I get that these guys are supposed to be like role models for literal children, but I really want characters with serious flaws again, kind of like we had in the Disney era. We kind of had this recently where there was some tension between Izzy and Fern and Cosmic Fury, but I want a team that doesn't immediately get along with each other after episode 1.
If Power Rangers is gonna have anything, it needs to have character chemistry. I need to see the team working together on and off the field, okay? They need to have that relationship that I can actually buy into. Number 2, can we please just get rid of the comedic duos that's always making these fart jokes, unoriginal jokes? Like, they're not funny in my opinion. Yeah, they were cool for the kids, but now that we're moving on to a more mature series, we could leave them behind.
I tried really hard to get back into it with Dino Fury. I saw everyone else getting super hype around that and Cosmic Fury, and I tried. I really, really did. I went through a solid 15, 16 episodes, and it just didn't click for me. A lot of my issues with Power Rangers, and hopefully something they can fix once they do the reset, is the cringy, campy nature. I have no problem with being silly. I have no problem with being fun and goofy. It comes off as kind of cringy a lot of the times, I feel like.
Lastly, can we get rid of the lines like, that was a super mega win? Like, no, it's not a win anymore when you say it like that.
But can I ask, what is it about Power Rangers that you love?
With that said, let me get into what I really love about Power Rangers.
After 20 years of Power Rangers, I think it's actually a good thing that they're taking a hiatus, however long it may be, a year, 2 years, but they're taking a break. And that is one of the best things they can do. You know, regardless of how a Power Ranger season is, it's gonna be well loved in one way or another. Samurai is well loved. Back then, people did not like it. A lot of people still don't like it. But now there's a surge of people who watched it when they were kids, and now they like it, and they're out there and saying that, hey, I grew up with this and I really liked it. Megaforce, I guarantee you the same thing is gonna happen. People are gonna love a show regardless of its quality. Those are two of the easiest examples, so that's pretty much all I have to say about the show. It's good they're taking a break. People are gonna love it no matter how it comes back.
I grew up Power Rangers like everyone else. I grew up in the early 2000s, and around that time, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue was on television. But before that, my parents introduced me to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, I fell in love with it as a kid. Then after that, I was hooked. I watched Lightspeed, Time Force, Wild Force, all the Disney era, from the Neil Saban era to the Hasbro era right now. Power Rangers taught me a lot of things in my life that are good and bad. I always loved the franchise. Power Rangers was my go-to ticket entry to Tokusatsu.
Well, it's the figures back there. You tell the ladies you own more than 6 figures, they'll want to see those 6 figures.
I hope the brand continues to release legacy toys. I know this isn't necessarily about the show, but I really like the Zap project and the Lightning collection. Honestly, I thought they were really cool, and I hate to see them go away, especially with how expensive legacy toys have gotten in recent years.
I like whenever the show has toys out, or the toys come out before the shows even know. Because when I was a kid, if I wanted to get hyped about a new season, for example, Lost Galaxy, when Lost Galaxy was out, there was Lost Galaxy toy before the show even out, and I had a blue Lost Galaxy toy. I just want them to bring that back, especially with Hasbro doing all this. Hopefully they do something with that again, like the way Bandai did it. But yeah, I just want them to just make sure that they build a hype up for Power Rangers, and I just really like just being able to feel hype on a new season when the new toys are out or anything else. So I just want them to hype. I just want the hype. I just like the hype for Power Rangers.
I feel like if there's one thing that's been killing it when it comes to Power Rangers and it's gone unnoticed, that is the comics. The comics have been a lot of fun when it comes to reading them. Like, they've been great. A lot of people sleep on the comics, and the comics have kind of kept me afloat online and keeping the lights on, you could say.
Something I hope they keep within Power Rangers that they've done a great job at is diversity. And I'll say that every time. Diversity. Whether it's making the first female Red Ranger for a full season, or whether it's having nationalities that we don't usually get in Power Rangers being showcased and represented, I think that's super important. I think they've had strides with Izzy, obviously, but I just want that more of. Izzy from Dino Fury / Cosmic Fury is a great example of that. We're able to keep pushing representation, but it doesn't have to be super in your face. I think they did a great job with Izzy. I think if we do more of that, representing people maybe on the binary, people with different sexualities. I love how Power Rangers has always been super diverse, and I hope that that is within the brand for years to come. With whatever reboots we get, I think that's something that I've always cherished growing up as a Latino. Keep it diverse, Rangers. I love it.
Something I'd like them to keep is, even though it's not my favorite part of the Dino Fury seasons, I would actually like them to keep doing this legacy aspect. Assuming they're going to be resetting the universe, I think it would be pretty cool if the reboot continues forward for them to incorporate more elements like it seems like they kind of want to keep doing. Like, for example, like season 5 or whatever of the reboot, they can still incorporate elements from season 1, but not like too heavily. I think it would be kind of cool to have like a more serialized set of seasons where things kind of build on top of each other, like they kind of were trying to do, but because it was like 30 years of legacy, it was kind of a bit much and wasn't handled that well.
I hope they keep using teams of 3 to 6. While larger teams are cool, I don't want to see just anyone become a ranger, especially if they're going to continue to talk about the morphing grid as this like ethereal force of all things good.
The Rangers having powers outside of their suits, I think, is such a cool and unique thing. Dino Thunder did it. SPD did it. You know, they have all their little abilities. Nothing crazy, but it was interesting, and it would add little things to the story that made them feel like superheroes, you know? That's what it is. They're a team of super people. Accentuating that not just inside of their exploding spandex, I think is an awesome thing that they need to continue, and that's something that really grabbed me as a kid. I was like, oh yeah, no, I want, you know, Dino Thunder Blue had that cool, like, block skin stuff. If you guys don't know, I'm a punchy dude. I like to punch. So, like, that'd be really cool. I remember one of them could, like, walk through walls, I think, in SPD or something like that. Like, things like that make it really, really, really interesting.
I would also love to see some civilian fights. Anytime the actors gets to show off their skills and stunts is a great way to build character and to also just show off some cool moves.
We need more explosions. Remember the Disney era and all the cow explosions, the color bomb, and then the actual bomb? We need explosions more every episode. And you know what? More civilian battles too. Let's add that as well.
The main thing I really do like about Power Rangers, for real, is that I love, for one, the action. I love how dynamic it is whenever it can be. It just depends on like who the director is or who the action director is or anybody. Because I just be able to like see all these like fights and choreography and these martial arts just going at it. And it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful sight.
The morph sequences. As long as the Rangers keep morphing, I'll keep watching. Let's have fun morph sequences, creative, in line with the theme. It's just so artistic and some of the best parts of any Power Ranger season.
The thing I honestly love about Power Rangers is how unabashedly goofy that shit is. How unashamed it is of what it is and just doing the goofiest, wackiest stuff to produce some of the hottest action that you'd ever see. Again, it is like adaptations of Sentai that does do things from Sentai, but during the Disney era especially, where they had like original fight scenes, original suits, like again, the Battleizers were one of the coolest scenes that they implemented into Power Rangers that was original to it, that honestly has designs that outdo Sentai to this day, right? Power Rangers used to do things that took from the source material and made it its own thing. Again, we have things like RPM making it its own thing if it's going to adapt it that way. We don't necessarily need a one-to-one because we have seasons like Dino Thunder, SPD, In Space, that show you that, yeah, you can make it its own thing. Because of the unique way that these shows were put together, it created a pretty fun experience. That honestly is a big thing that I love about Power Rangers.
The best part about it is that it's camp. It's fun, it's jolly, a little corny, cheesy, cringy, the 3 C's. You gotta love it.
Also, I really enjoy when they have aliens on the team. Doesn't have to be a team of aliens, because we all know Alien Ranger kind of sucks. I just think it's cool. It adds a dynamic to it. Usually that alien is tied into something that the bad guys did, which adds another level to it. And those are the stories I find the most interesting. You know, there's the trope of the 6th Ranger always being evil first and then joining. That carries over from, you know, its source material, but something about having a team member specifically tied to either an event that the bad guys caused or the bad guys directly, I think is just phenomenal and engaging, and that just makes interesting storytelling and interesting story possibilities.
What do I love about Power Rangers? Helmets, but I would say what I love about Power Rangers would probably be, and this is kind of the opposite of like the whole thing with Simon said about not being able to take the rubber suit monsters seriously, but all these rubber suit monsters, you look past them and they seem real, at least to me, to a point, you know, like I don't see it as a rubber suit, it's just another bad guy, and I love that, like the practical effects and all that. It's such a nice fresh air when everything's CGI or them being just like grotesque and monsterish, and also based on some sort of theme. I know people don't like the Monster Week, but it's cool. It's so cool, all the designs they come up with. I don't think people sit there and appreciate the effort, the designs, and just the overall like way they carry themselves. Some of the monsters, it's really cool. I've always enjoyed that, and I still do.
I would love to see a guy named George, okay, on the main team. Just give it to me. That's what I want. All right? That's it. A guy named George on the main team, and I'll fucking die happily.
Power Rangers would be way more successful if they did dubs of the Sentai as opposed to trying to adapt the footage.
I hope the Zords continue to be a big part of the franchise. I can easily see them taking a back seat in comparison to other potential toys. I'm not saying that I think Zords will necessarily go away, but I could see them like streamlining it to only having like one main Zord and then maybe like a second one come out later for like the 6th Ranger, and like that's it for the entire toy line.
Thing that I love about this franchise that we can sit down, talk about, discuss from hours, things we love, we care deeply for in this franchise, and I love that.
But Power Rangers is amazing. We love Power Rangers. We love the stories. With Cosmic Fury, I love the serialized storytelling. Loved having a female Red. It's just, Power Rangers is amazing. Love it. Just love the cheesiness. Love the teenagers with attitude. Love the bad puns. Like, it's just, Power Rangers is amazing.
Power Rangers always been there for me, and I can't think of my life without it.
And finally, the final question. What about Super Sentai?
Ooh, I love Sentai.
Not again. Don't
And every time you bring up Super Sentai,
we're not getting Q
the
Ranger.
Toku argument,
Just
they got
let
a
it go.
debate over Power Rangers versus Super Sentai. When honestly, but the way they were adapted is two different ways. To separate them is impossible, and I don't understand why people do it.
Like Power Rangers is one thing. I don't think you understand like the jar. You, Kezza, please.